We've got to wake people up to what gang stalking is. Try to get people not to do that, so that maybe there's a critical mass once you get so many people that are awakened to gang stalking and how to avoid it and what it's doing to their lives, the children's lives, and everything. So that's why I thought that we could really try to make it as vivid as we can.
Shout out to somebody. Somebody has sent me this link on my channel. It's called Exposing and Defeating Organized Gang Stalking with Dr. Eric Carlstrom. Now, I don't know what happened. This video is like 5 years old. So I don't know if this guy, if anybody know, if they got any more up-to-date information. You know how targets, every time when you see a gang stalking video, man, they just seem like they just go AWOL. They might be dead. They might be, whatever. You don't know what happened. But this is a very informative video. I'm almost finished it, as you can see. It's about to be over. Let me go ahead and play the rest.
Because people have to realize, unless they're sound asleep, and if they're watching this, they're not sound asleep. If they're interested in gang stalking and they know me or they know you, they're not sound asleep. You realize, unless they're sound asleep, and if they're watching this, they're not sound asleep. If they're interested in gang stalking.
If you're watching this, if you're watching gang stalking simulation, you're not sound asleep. It's either you're woke, and you know what time it is, or you one of them perps and you just trying to just gain information from my channel just so you can run back to your punk ass handler. But anyway, what time is it? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I just left the gym. You know what I mean? This is my honeycomb. This is my new honeycomb hideout. You know what I mean? Until this spot gets infiltrated or compromised. But right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take advantage of this. The best way I can. You know what I mean? Just left the gym. Just took a shower. Feel good. Feel clean. It feels great outside, man. The weather is nice. I don't know what the temp is, but it got to be like around 65 or something. It's nice. I just wish it would stay like this. But let me go ahead and finish this video and let y'all hear what they saying.
They know me or they know you. They're not sound asleep. So if those people can be aware of gang stalking and start talking it up. For me, before we started this interview, actually it was kind of a nebulous thing. Who's doing it? What are they doing? How can they hurt you? But I think you just through your last hour of talking made it really real for me, and I hope we've made it real for everybody watching, because this is it. This is how they're going to control you as you wake up.
Yes, and not only that, one of the first, in fact, I've got on my website, if people are interested in going to my 911nwo.com website, they can look under three main categories. One is New World Order, one is New World Religion, ? And another one's called the Controllers. And they can look and they can see that I have an Appendix 29, Appendix 9, and then an Appendix 20, an Appendix 23, and then I've got another one called Follow the Money, another one called the CIA Tavistock, and the Global Intelligence Police Gestapo State. And I got a whole bunch of quotes from victims of gang stalking. Excuse me for a second.
Okay, hold on.
I always tell people, like he said, follow the money.
I just hung up there, Paul.
Okay, if they don't call back, we're cool.
Always follow the money.
No, I know who it is, so I'll call them. But, so the gang stalking quotes people who are victims of this, and you get a sense of what it is. But in my Appendix 9, which is the first one I put together, I quoted extensively a woman named Julianne McKinney. Julianne McKinney was an intelligence officer herself. And is very articulate. She's written a book about directed energy weapons and gang stalking. And I've actually got that interview on my Appendix 9 posted there. And what she says is that this could be the technique, or she says this will be the technique that they use to genocide the population of the world. In other words, we could be looking at a mass genocide event
Of course.
using these technologies. Again, it's a whole series of, bag of tricks that includes mind control and harassment, surveillance, right up to directed energy. And of course, the directed energy, the non-lethal weapons, has the potential, through HARP and other things like that, to destroy the vast majority of the human race. So, yeah, I'd say this is kind of important. And if people don't even know what's going on, I think fear is a big part of it. Again, I look at my own family. They're busy doing their own things. They don't want to know about this.
Right.
My own family. You can't talk to them about this.
Same with us.
And of course they do want to isolate you from your family. They want to isolate you from your friends, all to, make you more apt to commit suicide or be easier to take out. Now, Dave McGowan, the guy who wrote that great book on the weird scenes of Laurel Canyon, he died of a fast onset cancer within the last year or so. But I looked at his interviews, it sounded like he had been atomized and isolated.
Yes.
In other words, there's the kind of guy who's a threat to the system. He figured out what's going on, and he wrote a book which got very popular.
Right.
So he then became an enemy of the state in somebody's list,
Right.
some notification list, and then was, I would say, murdered. I'd say his murder is his blood is on the hands on the hands of our national security state, our Gestapo, Stasi police state.
Right.
Or a private contractor, could be Infraguard. See, it's all nebulous, But I would say he's murdered. And this is not acceptable. This is completely not acceptable. There needs to be an accounting. There needs to be a trial. There needs to be now, I can tell you a story. Have you ever heard of Judy Berry?
Judy Berry? No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, back in I guess it would be the 90s, she was an environmental activist in California. Quite, she was a fiddle player, and her partner was Dale Cherney, who played guitar. And they wrote lots of songs, and they went from campus to campus and, sang about the redwoods and tried to radicalize the students. Mm-hmm. And evidently they were having some success because the FBI put a bomb in her car.
Wow.
And it blew up when she got in it, and she was crippled, not killed, but she died a few years later. Anyway, the trial was in Oakland, California. She was from the Bay Area, and I lived in Turlock, Central Valley. So I went to her trial one day, and there were the FBI guys at the front, suits, flat top haircuts, look, perfect Nazi types. And Judy Berry's, she's pretty obnoxious, in your face. She's, but they killed her. They bombed her. And those guys, I think they got away with it.
Wow.
Because they had the good lawyers. So again, FBI took out 28 Black Panthers.
It's funny too because I remember I said that in one of my videos. I said this reminds me of what was it, Goodfellas, when them brothers was in the mob, and you know how back in the day, when you're dealing with the mafia, you don't know who gonna come and get you. You know what I mean? And it could be another. It could be another set of group that you got other enemies from another group, or it could be somebody from your own team. You know how it is in the mafia. You know what I mean? And you know how they get in the car, and you start your car up, and boom. Matter of fact, I was just listening to Biggie Smalls the other day, Beef, and he was like, "What's beef?" He's a beef when you let your enemy start your Jeep. And I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, wow, man, that's just some deep stuff, man. It's like to the point where, you don't even know, you don't even know if you can start your vehicle up. You know what I'm saying? It might, I'm not saying that it happened to me or you or whatever. You just, I was just thinking that, you know what I mean? I really don't even care. But you know, I was just thinking that, man. I was like, you know, that's because that's what this is. I mean, you know, if you think about the mafia, like this COINTELPRO controls the mafia. Like this COINTELPRO is like the biggest mafia. You know, like even he said it. He said this gang stalking COINTELPRO is on steroids. You know what I mean? Steroids. I say steroids and creatine, super creatine. You know what I mean? You know, that's what this program is all about, man. You know what I mean? You know, we dealing with, like, if anybody tell you that gang stalking ain't that serious, leave them alone. Leave them, cut them off ASAP. Because it's either they're a perp or they just ignorant and don't know no better or whatever. If they ignorant and don't know no better, then, you know, I could forgive them for their ignorance, and then they'll catch on later on. You know, once the beast put that steel toe boot up their ass, you know what I mean? But other than that, you know, cut them off because they don't know what they talking about. This program is colossal, gigantic. You know what I mean? It's huge, man. We talking about the elites. These are the demons that control this world. You know what I mean? For them to have, I mean, for them to put a target on an individual's back and you will be targeted all over the globe? Really? If I'm in Pennsylvania, if I was to jump up and go to Bangladesh, you know, they going look. It might die down a little bit, but as soon as you get settled, they coming. They gonna have them Indians out there with the red dots on their forehead. So they gonna get it. Even if them look, and then at the same time, you know that it's all about money and bribery, right? So it will be real easy to bribe them. They gonna get them cell phones. They go straight to the poor people, right? They gonna distribute them cell phones, electronic weapons, gift cards, and everything. Man, them poor people gonna jump on that. They're gonna take that. If these critters out here in America, if these critters out here in America is jumping on this bandwagon to get down with this COINTELPRO for some gift cards and rental cars and Section 8 housing or whatever they doing it for, job promotions, whatever. When you got options, excuse me, when you got options here in America, you don't have to do that. You don't have to gang stalk somebody to get by. You know what I'm saying? Like people here in America, you can go to school. You can get a trade. You got jobs. There's other ways to make money here in America. That's the reason why people from other countries come here. Because I was just talking to a guy at the pizza shop. I'm like, he from Greece. I'm like, why are you here? He said he been here for 17 years, right? I said, why though? I said, what's wrong with Greece? Why are you not going back to your country? He said, it's easier to make money here in America. He said, if I was to go back to my country, I got to work twice as hard to get the bag. So that right there explains it. So when we see all these foreigners over here, trust me, these foreigners are not here because America is great. These foreigners are here because it's easier to get the bag. And then, and most, like a lot of Africans, they get the bag and they send it right back home to their peoples. You know what I mean? That's what they do, and take care of their fam, which is, you know, cool, the right thing to do. So my point is, like I said, you know, it's other ways to get the money. There's other ways to get the money here in America. We got choices. You got, you know what I mean? People in America that's broke, you choose to be broke because you don't know how to manage your money. You make money, you go to work and everything, and then you want to keep up with the Joneses. They got you becoming a consumer. You feel as though you got to go out there and buy the Prada bag and everything just to fit in. You gotta have Jordans that cost $1,000 to have on your feet just to walk down the street, just so everybody can see you. Like, you're stupid. You're just stupid. You know what I mean? They got you. They got you. Man, look, I got one pair of Jordans. No, I had two. I had two pairs of Jordans in my life. One I got rid of. I donated them. Guess how much I paid for those Jordans? They weren't even Nike. They was like the Mike Jordan, like the real Mike Jordan, Air Jordan. They was on sale at the mall one time. I bought them. That was $60. You know what I'm saying? And then I got another pair that I had ordered online, which was Nike Air Jordan, and it was $100. It was like $110 for shipping. That's it. And that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in the world you would get me to spend $500 on some sneakers. You crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm still rocking my old beat up Timbs. My Timbs, man, look at my Timbs, man. You think I give a damn? Man, I paid $100 for these boots. And I had these boots for a while now. And I'm getting my money's worth. When you a T.I., look, I had this mind before I even became a T.I., you know what I mean? I was always a person that saved their money. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can make anything look good. Even when I was in the Matrix, I can go, excuse me, I can go to Kmart or something, or Foreman Mills, you know, and if I was going to the club or something, I could easily put something together. You know what I'm saying? Some jeans, nice tee, something fly on your feet, and I'll be looking good going to the club. Because it's not really what you got on, it's really how you wear it. And if your body's right, you know, females ain't really, you know, paying attention to the name brand. They if you got a nice physique, they're gonna be looking at your physique more so than, you know, if it's Tommy Hilfiger or whatever. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, I don't know if that's the same plane, but a plane just like that just flew by. It might be a different plane. But at the same time, I don't even want to mess with a girl that's concerned about if I got Tommy Hill or Gucci or whatever. She's immature. What I want to do with that girl? She's a girl. I like women. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was a young boy, when I was 28, I was messing with a 40-year-old lady. I always mess with older women. Always. You know what I'm saying? You know, both of my baby moms, my first baby mom is my age. My second baby mom is younger than me. Man, they trying to make me, I don't know what, hold on. They're trying to make me choke. But, yeah. So, but I always, you know, was interested in older women. Cause I'm an old soul anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I was 15, I was really 29. Straight up. But let me get back to this. Look at the thumbnail though. Stabbed in the back, man, by a whole bunch of people.
In the 60s with the COINTELPRO, it's 28-0. FBI 28, Black Panther 0.
Right.
Well, it was doing this kind of stuff. Took out 28 Black Panthers in the 60s with the COINTELPRO.
Right.
It's 28-0. FBI 28, Black Panther 0.
Right.
Well, it was doing this kind of setup thing, doing these dirty tricks against individuals to neutralize them and eventually kill them. Right. So this program has legs in our country that goes way back, 100 years. But yeah, the idea that a citizen becomes inconvenient and the state's going to take them out, totally unacceptable, illegal, unconstitutional, and immoral.
Right.
And these are elected officials, many of whom swear to uphold the Constitution.
That's right.
So they're lying bastards, you know,
right.
The ones who are involved.
You've got Hillary is just in the last 2 months, I think it was June, July, took out 5 people who were writing things about her past.
Right.
I mean, it still happens right now.
What happened?
June, July.
They're lying bastards, you know,
right.
The ones who are involved.
You've got Hillary is just in the last 2 months, I think it was June, July, took out 5 people who were writing things about her past.
Mm.
I mean,
Right.
it still happens right now. I mean, they just send them out and they're gone.
Yeah, there's a big trail of bodies behind the Clintons and certainly the Bushes,
Right.
because they're all ganged up, the Bushes and the Clintons. But yeah, this is huge. We're dealing with a mafioso. You know, I got wise to this pretty quick. I was in the D.C. area when John F. Kennedy was shot. I was 14, and I would glance at the Washington Post and read about such and such a witness who was going to testify tomorrow. Died in a car wreck or had a heart attack or whatever. There's about 50 bodies that,
Right.
and now the cover up.
Right.
And so yeah, these are coups. The JFK coup and the 911 coup. These are incremental takeovers
Right.
of the United States. Yeah.
Right. Let me mention another thing. You mentioned gaslighting, and gaslighting is an amazing phenomenon. That's where you try to convince somebody that they're crazy. And the reason I think that this is important, I mean, I think that, well, I know from the feedback that a lot of people are waking up. They come to Pinecone Utopia, our site, and they can get some information from you, other interviews or things that I've said. And as they awaken, they're going to realize that the mainstream media and mainstream thought is going to try to gaslight them. Now, gaslight them, try to make them think that they're crazy. Well, first of all, they'll call them a conspiracy theorist,
Right.
which is, that's a well-designed term started by the CIA under Hoover, the Kennedy administration, to make people who disagreed with the normal way seem like they're nuts. But that's I think the whole role of mainstream media in terms of the awakening community, to try to convince our families, our kids, that we're crazy because we're waking up. It's a gaslighting function. I would even consider it gangstalking at a media level, to try to make us less credible. But it's an amazing thing that's happening now. So we're all, go ahead.
Yeah, and in that regard, I mean, I've done a lot of writing about the New World Religion, and a whole series on my 911nwo.com site entitled "Is Crestone Baca Where I Live?"
Right.
Founded more or less by Maurice Strong and his wife, these international figures. Is Crestone Baca the Vatican City of the New World Order, an expose of the New World religion? Well, we've got like over 30 spiritual groups, from all over the world.
Right.
We're kind of an interfaith utopia, if you will.
Right.
But basically, I went through, part 1 through, I think, 12 now, and then some 30 appendices. I think part 4 or 5, I think it's part 5, it talks about some of the think tanks and what they did in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. One of them was the Macy conferences, the Mind Machine conferences set up by Gregory Bates, who's an anthropologist out of Britain who worked with the CIA during World War II. He married Margaret Mead, another anthropologist, and it was a very small interdisciplinary group that did these famous Macy conferences. But basically, Gregory Bateson's goal was to figure out how to produce symptoms that mimicked schizophrenia. In other words, how to make people look crazy through external circumstances and behavior that is not crazy, but would make the public or the press or the police or whatever. So just as you say, there's been an enormous amount of attention given to our media system and our propaganda system, how to drive people crazy or make it seem like they're crazy or crazy enough so that they're discredited. So I'm totally agreeing with your point. And that these psychological techniques are embedded into our government media system. And I'm sure they have a certain amount of success in driving a certain percentage of people crazy. because things are crazy out there, you know.
Oh,
But yeah,
I would imagine that's what social media is for.
yeah,
Find out how successful they are, how many people are crazy now. But there's something that they're really censoring social media now. So maybe that role is becoming less important. You know, if I wanted to know what was going on, I'd want to let the social media go and I'd watch it. I might try to control it one way or another, but I certainly wouldn't shut it down because I want to know where guys like Eric Carlson and Paul Marco are.
yeah.
Now they're even shutting that down. So I don't know whether that's a change in their strategy to gaslight us all, or I guess they're just shutting off our access to people.
Yeah, you know, I'm not on social media per se. I don't have Facebook. I don't have a cell phone. I don't have anything like that. But of course, I have my websites. And you hear rumors, you know, that they're going to shut down the internet or whatever. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. Because as you say, the watchers get an enormous amount of information from the social media, so they benefit from it. Who's doing what, etc. People just seem to want to, you know, put themselves out there.
Right.
You know, oh, I was at the zoo this morning, you know, and I saw my best friend, and you know, and then I spilled my ice cream cone, and then blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, as if it matters. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
But they've got all that data somewhere in Utah, you know, at these at this data center, and
The data center, yo.
who knows where it's going, but there's got to be pushback. We have to push back.
It's in
We
the
have to be
clouds,
clever
right?
about it. We have to figure out how to convict these criminals because we're dealing with a criminal operation. Again, unconstitutional, illegal, and immoral. Violates at least 2 of the 10 commandments. And if you want to be part of that system, you know, you're on the wrong side of the law. And yet there's you know, there's got to be millions that are on that side of the system.
Well, there's also got to be ways that we can, on an individual basis, push back. Like you're confronting your gang stalkers. I think that's really important. And recognizing when you've been hit by a directed energy weapon, you know. So.
Yeah, well, you know, when all of a sudden you can't make it to the bathroom because you fall down, you know something's a little haywire. You know,
right.
I've climbed mountains all over the world, you know, and I'm very strong still at my age. And if I can't make it, if I have to crawl to the bathroom, I know something's wrong.
Right.
Wow.
That's not normal. Well.
So yeah, this stuff is very serious. You know, things are coming to a head. I do believe, you know, faith is important for me, and I think for many of the targeted individuals. You know, again, going back to the black ladies, you know, that post, you know, pray up, you know, get right with God, get right with Jesus. You know, you're really hanging on against some very powerful and formidable and malevolent forces.
Right.
So you've got to have something. I would suggest, maybe a lot of people can go it alone, but I would suggest that those of us who are inclined towards, you know, say Christian faith, in my case, would be then forced into embracing it on a more daily basis, because a lot of times these events are on a daily basis, you know.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
Of course, it's on a daily basis. It don't stop. I don't know about y'all too. Comment below. I'm about to stop this cam real quick because it's about to be 30 minutes. But comment below. Do y'all get gang stalked by Muslims, man? Because I know I do. You know what I'm saying? I get gang stalked by everybody. Christians, Muslims, man. It don't matter. You know, all types of race, color, creed. It don't matter, man. But don't forget. I'm gonna see if I can. If I remember, I'm gonna post this link up in the description for those that want to check out this video. It's almost 2 hours long. Excuse me. So if you're interested, if you want to hear the whole, like I said, it's 5 years old. So I just subscribed to this channel. I'm gonna check out all these old videos that he posted up. You know what I'm saying, and see what they taught me. Get some. He recommended a lot of books too. A couple of the books that I got myself, and then he recommended a couple other books that I never seen before. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, man. I'm out. Keep your head up, man. Stay strong. GangStalking Simulation, baby. DB GangStalking Simulation, baby. You already know the best channel on YouTube.